All right, so we were here, correct? Mm-hmm. All right, so basically, this word, sustainability, I mentioned it yesterday or I didn't?
Yes. Yes.
This word you have to know and link to every single topic in environmental science. And what do you think I'm referencing? Save for the future means what? Change what?
Change now, how you consume stuff.
Yes, change how you consume stuff so that whatever you consume lasts forever. And one of the links that I'm going to show you today is really scary. Things that people don't think of. So there's 3 critical components. As he mentioned, is the things that we consume. That's what we call what? Anybody know what things we consume is called? What's the term? Things you need, that you use, that you obtain from your environment in order to survive. Resources, good. So our natural resources, which are matter and energy, and how they cycle. Natural resources and how they cycle. Those 2 terms come up on the AP exam. Natural resources is going to be matter and energy, or what you have, and how they cycle through Earth is the natural service. Name me some cycles. Nitrogen. Carbon. Water. Life. It's actually all part of those cycles, you know. Yeah. If you look at those cycles, without life, they can't fully cycle. Krebs is part of carbon. Is part of carbon. Rock, so that's a non-living cycle, right? Phosphorus, sulfur, we're going to cover all of those. All of those you have to know, all the components that contribute to the cycle and how it functions. I think I have a little link. So there are the cycles, and I should click on all my links because that way you're going to be able to reference them. But you don't have to know these on the test. Not until we get to the unit titled cycles, which I believe is the 3rd unit. And I guess this is a picture of what a resource is. So at least you have that to reference. All right, and then we're going to discuss, to live sustainable, how we degrade these natural resources and their cycles, and human activities have obviously been linked to that, and how can we fix them. Those 3 components is what you have to have in order to acquire sustainable living or life. You know, environmental science, I think I mentioned this yesterday. In college, it's shifting from that title to sustainable living. And sustainable living is the study of the environment using these 3 components. Any questions?
What's NS?
Natural services. You see right here? Natural resource and services. You make cards as you go?
Yeah.
Wow. You know there's a flash card maker app.
Yeah, but I like them.
And then you could turn it into quizzes.
But I like.
Okay, I know. And it actually, if you type the word in, I guess I should pause, right? Because we don't want. Okay. For a long time, environmental science didn't even include money. Like economy or value wasn't a topic you discuss. It wasn't even part of a unit of the book. I should show you my old environmental science book. It's quite funny. The solutions that they had to the problems. Now we consider, in order to live sustainable, you have to take into effect the economy. But the irony, which is right here, is nothing that is made takes environmental cost into their, yeah. And that might not make sense now, and it doesn't have to. You're going to learn that throughout the year. Every single disadvantage to a solution is environmental costs are not included in the equation. I just want you to go through these terms. I'm going to skip through the slide quickly. It's your responsibility to reference the slide, and if you have questions, you come back and ask me. These terms, GDP, goods produced per capita, they're all in your book. PPP, purchasing power parity, that basically means each person's purchasing power. okay? But go through the book to find that. What I do want to reference is these two terms, developed countries and developing countries. By looking at the map, who can kind of reference those two things and tell me something about them?
Developed countries are modern, civilized, like, they have a stable government, and they have, the economy is, it doesn't have to be good, but it's like everyone's going by.
Good.
Why is it Russia immediately?
I know, because the maps are not on the same website. So when I copy them, you're going to see some things different because they weren't on the same, you get it? So, but here's something that kind of references both. And red is developed and yellow is developing. Another way it could be referenced on the AP exam, so I want you to add this to your notes, is less developed countries. And what do you think the other one is? More developed.
Can you say that again?
Less developed countries can actually appear as LDC. So put that as well. And you just have to know that. More developed countries, MDC. So population, significant. We'll have a whole unit on population. Life expectancy, wealth. You see all the differences between developing countries and developed countries. But population and life expectancy will all be in one unit. All right. So how do we actually live sustainable and grow as an economy is a real tricky topic. It's actually extremely hard. But if economy is dedicated to two things, what do you think it is?
Improving.
Good. Improving everybody's quality of life without what? Depleting. Give me other words. Exhausting, destroying, degrading. Degrading actually takes all those words that were given to us into one word. Degrade is to do what?
Make worse.
To make worse. To lower its state. Who could give me an example of living sustainably in our economy? I'm going to pause. Okay?